Let's circle back to Thursday night with what we thought was going to be another cursed Amazon Prime game, so much so that you and I were like, Amazon just ruins everything. Let's just poke fun at how bad this show is.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be the most exciting Thursday night game we have ever seen in our lives. Bears versus Commanders.
Yeah, Bears, Manders in Landover, Maryland, and Washington. There you go. 40-20, the Bears come out on top, get their first win in 360-something days, I'm pretty sure. It was something really crazy like that. Been a long time. And, our concern was that the Bears looked good for like 2.5 quarters against Denver last week. And then they gave up like 31 points unanswered or 28 points unanswered, something like that, something ridiculous like that, and they end up losing in a tremendous comeback by Denver. Yeah, I think the Bears might have figured something out. I don't know for sure. The Washington Commanders are not the gold standard of defenses, but they just took the Philadelphia Eagles to overtime. So, they're doing something right on the defensive side of things, and they didn't do much right at all on the defensive side of things on Thursday night. We saw an absolute show. We already mentioned it before, but Justin Fields, 40.9 fantasy points, 15 for 29, 282 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Listen, completion percentage can go up. That's fine, but 282 and 4 with 0 interceptions, and then 11 rushes for 57 yards. That's what we've been missing is the rushing attempts. 11 rushes, designed runs. The Bears and Matt Eberflus might have figured out how to unlock Justin Fields again, and it looks pretty good so far. His last 2 weeks have been tremendous. And then the big name of the night, D.J. Moore. Oh my goodness. He had 10 targets, brought in 8 of those for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. No one told me D.J. Moore had the Tyreek Hill games in him. What you're talking about? This is the D.J. Moore who had no more than 5 touchdowns in his first 3 or 4 seasons of his career. What? And then he gets 3 in one game. Obviously, the last one was a little bit of I won't say a throwaway or a gimme, but it was in garbage time, and Washington was trying pretty hard to jump the route, get the ball back, and he just took it and went. But his yards after catch, dude, it was he was just burning guys after he got that ball in his hand. And I don't know. He might have just been pissed off and wanted to win a game or something, but he was just hauling tail.
Ooga chaka.
Almost 100.
Ooga chaka.
On a feeling. DJ Moore. I mean, almost 100 points combined from these guys. That's what we said. If you had this stack, like some people that we saw did, you won your week on Thursday night. You could sit almost half of the rest of your team right now, and you'd probably still win. That's where we're at this point. It's pretty freaking crazy. Hey, and then Cole Kmet gets into the end zone again. 5 catches for 42 yards and a touchdown. 15.2 fantasy points there for him. He's looking like maybe a decent tight end option if you're disappointed in Darren Waller or Dallas Goedert. Cole Kmet, if he's out there on the waivers, he could be a decent ad for you, so he's there as well. And then Khalil Herbert, the last guy who had a big impact in Week 4. Not so big in Week 5, but he also was injured. He didn't finish out the game, but he had 10 carries for 76 yards. He had a big breakaway there in the first quarter, picked up 40 or 50 yards on that one play. But 7.6 per carry, the offense seems to be humming. They just seem to be doing well, and I don't see how, at least with Justin Fields, DJ Moore, and Cole Kmet, how you can go into Week 6 and not have them in your lineup. Even if this was just 6 good quarters of football over the last 2 weeks, I don't think you can risk, no, they're not going to do it again. I don't know what the schedule is. I haven't seen who they get in Week 6, but you got to roll these guys out at this point now. And Wes, I mean, we talked about it a little bit today, just texting, but this is the reports we were seeing. This is the reports
Yep.
we're seeing, and they're coming true. And this offense looks pretty good, dude. I don't know. Like, what do you think? Where are you at on the Bears offense now?
Well, I bought into the hype. So
Yes.
this is a relief to see that they can actually do this. But I'll tell you what I learned from Thursday night. The first month of fantasy football is really trying to figure out who do I need to get out on while I still can. Like who can I trade away because the production is not that good and they're lucky. And how do I take advantage of the good fantasy points but get someone that's sustainable? And the other side is trying to see who's not getting the fantasy points, but when it hits, and I got to take advantage of this. What I learned Thursday night is sometimes you just have to wait. Sometimes you just have to wait it out and trust your gut. You're only 3-4 weeks in, and eventually the players you believe in are going to hit. Kudos to one of the guys that I'm in a league with. I sent an offer to DJ Moore for 3 straight weeks, and he declined every single time because he said, no, I just have to wait this out. I think it's going to happen. And it did in week 4. And man, not only has DJ Moore have the greatest wide receiver fantasy stat line of this season, but let's just talk about something that you and I did not believe in. We both have Justin Fields in our top 10 going into the season, but we both thought that was going to be through the ground. He has thrown 8 passing touchdowns in 2 games and 0 interceptions. You know who has 8 touchdowns on the season? Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. And I know tomorrow that's going to change, but that's what's different. It's not that he's just scrambling and finding a way to the end zone like Jalen Hurts when they're on the goal line. Yeah, there's the tush push and he's in the end zone. 4 passing touchdowns again. Yeah. You have to start all 3 of these, and hopefully Khalil Herbert, when he's healthy, is able to kind of keep up with this offense. But, I mean, this is looking like the Dolphins. This is wild. Good for you, really the Bears.
Yeah, they look really good. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna make a line in the sand, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna give them a 2-game window here. So if next week you roll them out and it's a down week, maybe it's a down week, I think you need to roll them out again. If they had 2 good weeks and then it's 2 bad weeks I'll even say this. I'll give them a 3-week window. If they from week 6 to 8, numbers are tough, I guess. That took me a second to figure out. From week 6 to week 8, if they are 3 straight down weeks for these guys, then that's when I think you take them back out of the lineup. But I think you need to ride for at least another 3 weeks just because they might be figuring this out.